There was little question about France's GabrielNassif being inducted in his first year of eligibility.
GabrielNassif has 9 top 8, PT top 8, no doubt to Hall of Fame. I think he is the best player right now.
The only questions about Nassif are where he ranks in the all-time pantheon of Magic greats.
I mean, one of the things we joke about in R&D is players who sort of show there's more skill in Magic than we thought there was skill in Magic. And John and Kai and Gabe, the two greats are the ones that really say, look, Magic has even more skill than you think.
I think there's a non-zero chance at some point in the near future we look up and we're like, holy crap, Gabe Nassif's the best player of all time.
Still just a teenager, his first Pro Tour event was a top 64 finish at Pro Tour Chicago.
I met GabrielNassif for the first time on his first PT Chicago 2001. And we were all playtesting together. And he had his own mono blue brew with flyers and stuff. He was the only one playing it, and he didn't want to play anyone else's brew.
He would finish top 64 in 3 of his next 4 events, with a 66th as his only miss. He began his rise to prominence with the GP finals.
It was one of the breakthrough tournament was back in GP London, and the following week at the Team Pro Tour, playing Kai twice in a row. That was his break. He's been on the tour ever since.
And then as a member of the second place team at Pro Tour New York.
But Nassif was the mastermind in that team. Like, he was the guy sitting in the middle, he was the guy calling the picks. And that was definitely our toughest match in the whole Pro Tour.
In 2004, he wrested the Player of the Year title away from Kai Bude.
GabrielNassif not only won Player of the Year, but won it in a year where another Pro Tour player had 2 Pro Tour wins.
He would go on to rack up a total of 9 Pro Tour top 8s in just 46 appearances, including some of the most electric moments in Pro Tour history. From his improbable game win against Patrick Chapin at Worlds.
And every single time it had to be right for Nassif to win. And the crowd was just cheering because every single time a card was pulled and it was the right card, people realized we were that much closer to Nassif pulling off the impossible. And
to his called shot in Kyoto, to his riveting tournament-clinching win over LSV in that very same event.
Nassif's one of the undisputed masters of the game, and he's actually one of the players I like playing against the least. Not because he's unpleasant. Our matches are always awesome, but he's so hard to trick.
Nassif is a deck-building force to be reckoned with, from his format-defining tooth and nail deck to as recently as the last Pro Tour, creating the white weenie deck that propelled Kai Bude and Paul Rietzel into the top 8 of Pro Tour Amsterdam.
He understands formats like very few others on the PT level, and his constructed decks are always good. Whenever he plays a constructed deck and a couple of other people play it, you will find someone sitting at XO.
And people like to talk about who's the best player in the game right now. It was John, it was Kai, then what, it was Kenji, it was LSV, maybe Brad Nelson. Are we sure it hasn't just been Nassif the whole time?
For all his greatness in the game, he also remains one of the most affable and beloved personalities on the Pro Tour.
You know, he's laid back, he's humble, he's, you know, kind of, in many ways, everything you'd look for and what you'd want in your competitive environment.
He has this approach that is very friendly with players, with judges, etc. He is always very, very nice to hang out with, and obviously one of the best players in the world.
New players can see them as their idol, you know, because he wins all the time, he's a nice guy, and he has a yellow head.
Ladies and gentlemen, France's GabrielNassif.